Get ready to explore new destinations. Buckle up. You're listening to Mac's World.
Have you ever wanted to just drop everything and take off? Because I did. Hi, I'm Mac, and against my mother's will, I just took 2 years off of school to travel the world. It was the most eye-opening, exciting, and enjoyable time of my life, for sure. Now, I'm making this podcast to share some key information and some helpful tips to excite and inspire youth to get out there and start exploring. As important as it is to explore history and culture while traveling, we are young and we like to have fun. I'll be telling you about the best party destinations, the craziest hostels, the coolest nightclubs, and much more. I'll also be interviewing other travelers to hear some insane travel stories that you probably would not want to tell your mom about, and to gain further insight into even more destinations. So if travel is on your mind, or you just love to adventure, you came to the right spot. This is Mac's World. All right, so let's get the show on the road here and jump over to a field interview that we did the other day with some Ryerson students. We just asked them what they thought about traveling, any travel experience they had, and we just listened to what they had to say. So let's go over that now. Hi guys, Mac here from Mac's World. I'm in SLC on floor 6 today, the beach. Just going to ask some students about their opinions on traveling and to hear about their experiences around the globe. So let's see what they have to say. What's your opinion on gap years? Do you think that they're a good thing for youth to do?
Most parents, I would think, would support it because as long as you have like the good intentions of coming back and going to school, I don't see why it would be an issue.
Yeah, I think it's good because you get your experiences done while you're young, and like it almost helps you like inspire you for what you want to study in a way too.
I think that if you're not certain on what you want to do, where you want to go post-secondary, I think gap year is a really good idea. That way you're not wasting time, money, getting into a program that you're going to hate later on.
What would you say is the best city to party in for a youth traveler?
Maybe Barcelona. There's a lot of like clubs, a lot of nightlife that we could see, so it seemed really fun.
I was in Barcelona. Bar scene there is pretty awesome.
Spain is amazing for that. Barcelona. I feel like anywhere in Europe, really. In Europe, everything's more relaxed, I feel.
I really liked Mexico. I definitely would recommend it because I was like 14 and they served me, so like it's real good for like underage drinking.
Do you have any travel tips and tricks that you'd like to share?
Pack light. Always overpack, and it's like annoying because you always go overweight and then you have to pay for the extra cost. It's annoying to lug everything.
As soon as you have the money, like go for it. Like if you're only gonna have like the time, like right now, like once you start getting a full-time job, like you're not gonna be able to take the time off to travel that you want. So like if you have the time and the money, like go for it.
All right, now we know a bit more about our fellow Ryerson students' international presence, and I've heard about some great travel experiences. This has been Mac with Mac's World. All right, it's good to hear from some Ryerson students about what they think about traveling. We're going to jump over to a more experienced traveler now and see what he has to say about traveling, about the world, and all of his experiences that he's had. He's had some interesting ones, so let's go over to that right now. So I'm here with Cole Legree, first-year photography student at Ryerson University. So Cole, you've done a bit of traveling.
I have. You could say that.
When it comes to like forms of travel, for example, like backpacking, road tripping, or volunteering abroad, which one would you say you prefer?
I have done a lot of backpacking, and I would recommend that. I think you kind of learn a lot about the world and yourself when you kind of restrict yourself to like not a few objects, but certainly a lot less than what you would have here. And it's pretty cool. It's kind of a revelation. It's like, wow, you don't actually need much to do the things you want to do.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of liberating.
So what's your favorite backpacking trip that you've taken then?
I did a 9-month-long trip that went from Australia to New Zealand to Indonesia to Asia out of a backpack. So that'd be like clear winner.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It was.
What is it about traveling that you love so much?
It's just really stimulating, you know, like everyone likes to be stimulated in one way or another. And you're just like new information, new experiences every day.
Yeah, cool. I'm assuming that you've stayed in some hostels before. What do you think about hostel life?
They're fun. Everyone should go stay in hostels. If you're listening, go do it for a while. We did a couple of homestays with families and stuff, and like they have you over for dinner and show you what's around. That's like the most important thing, I think. If you kind of stay with someone who's from the area, you can kind of have that insight into how someone else lives.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you were to recommend a place for youth to go on their first trip, where would it be?
Ooh, Thailand's really good because it's easy to do. It's very accessible. Like, food is delicious and cheap. There's lots of people doing the same thing. So there's like an ocean of knowledge out there. Like, where should you go? What should you do? If you're kind of into outdoorsy stuff, I'd say go to New Zealand. It's easy to get around. There's tons of stuff to do. There's oceans, mountains, volcanoes, deserts, in like an area I believe is like the size of Newfoundland. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a good first place to go because you can kind of explore.
exactly,
A little bit of
and it's
everything.
so similar to here too.
Yeah,
so
so
it
not
can-
much like culture shock.
Yeah.
Cool. After all of your travels, could you tell some listeners about some tips and tricks that you've learned?
Just be open-minded. Don't expect anything no matter where you travel, and that's ultimately going to get you the best results.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, Cole, for coming in, telling us about your travels. Hopefully some youth will find this inspiring and want to get out there on their own adventure.
Hopefully. Have fun. Be safe out there.
Now let's get back to Mac's World. All right, yeah, it's really great to hear from an experienced traveler like Cole, someone who can teach you a lot about traveling for sure. So I just thought now we would go over and talk a bit about my travel plans for this year, what I'm doing to get my traveling fix. So I brought in another special guest. We took them into the studio and asked them some more questions. So let's go to that right now. I've been really fortunate to get the opportunity to travel to Cozumel, a small tribal village in South India for a month. While I'm there, I'll be volunteering by building sanitation facilities for the locals to use. All of this is possible because of an amazing group at Ryerson called ASB, or Alternative Spring Break. Here to tell us a bit more about this organization is Caitlin, the project coordinator for our trip to India. Hi, Caitlin. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm really great. So how many years have you been involved with ASB?
This would be my 4th year being a part of the organization. 1 year as a team member and 3 years as a coordinator.
Cool. What places have you gone to with ASB?
My first year, I traveled to Uganda, and the first trip I coordinated was to India, the village that we're returning to this year. Last year, I went to Laos, and then this year I'll be again returning to India.
Go over how you managed to become the project coordinator for such a big trip.
Oh, it was a little bit of luck actually with me that I was able to get this job, because the first year I joined the organization, I had a great team of leaders, and they actually all left the organization at the exact same time, just kind of by a fluke. Some of them graduated, some of them just were too busy. Typically, a coordinator would usually have been a member and then a leader and then a coordinator, but because of the circumstances, they had to hire a coordinator who had never done it.
Right.
And everyone was too scared, and I was like, why not? I'm gonna go for it. So I applied, and I've just had the job ever since. I love it too much to let it go.
Can you tell listeners out there how this trip is made so possible and affordable to students?
Yes. This is made possible through Ryerson grants and a lot of really amazing donors that have donated to us over the years, and all of our fun events like our silent auction and bar nights and bake sales and things like that. But it gives people the opportunity to travel that might not otherwise have had it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like students, it's definitely hard to travel after paying for a full year of school. So
Absolutely.
having this program is really nice for students as well.
Oh, my time at Ryerson would have been so different without it. I encourage everyone, if they have an interest in traveling, whether or not you have a really strong interest in volunteering or not, I promise you will love ASB.
I'm going this year. I highly recommend going. It's been good so far. Obviously, we haven't left yet, but we've been doing a lot of team building and group activities and a lot of meetings, but it's a good time. Good group of people. So.
It is.
All right. Thanks for coming out, Caitlin.
No problem. Thanks, Mac.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. It's been another good episode of Mac's World. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Have a good one. See you later.